This is what feels like happens to me. I will have an inspiration. I'll have an idea that just comes to me, and I will be enthusiastic about it, and I'll be really hopeful about it, and I will carry out the steps that I feel come forth through me from that inspiration. But then the outcome never seems to be what I had hoped for.
Here's the distinction. Here's what's going on. Hope isn't in the vortex. Hope's on the verge of the vortex. So if you're acting from the vibration of hope, you're taking action too soon. You want to hope until the vortex takes you in and makes a believer out of you. And once the vortex takes you in and makes a believer out of you, if you hang around longer, then you'll know. And once you're in the place of knowing, what you want cannot be denied. So you are impatiently jumping into action before your alignment is really secure. That's all. Don't you like knowing that?
I do. It just feels like such a vicious cycle for me sometimes. I have backed off.
But hear what you're saying. This is exactly the way this conversation went. Abraham, I've been doing this and this. Well, that's pretty good, but that won't get you where you want to be. I know. It hasn't been getting me where I want to be, and I don't like it, and it keeps happening over and over again. Let me tell you about it. And we're saying, don't do that anymore. Don't do that. Don't take action until you feel not just a hopeful feeling. Don't take action until nothing could keep you from it. Don't take action until the momentum is so strong that there is nothing that could keep you from it. You get the idea. Well, I will take this action in order to bring that about. And when you introduce that action, instead of it feeling better, it feels worse because there's some sort of contradiction going on in your vibration. So then you say, but I don't know what to do. If I do nothing, that doesn't feel right. And if I do something, that doesn't feel right. What should I do? And we say, when it feels wrong either way, just hold tight and say to yourself, this isn't the time for an action journey, this is the time for an emotional journey. Now, that's what you think you've been doing. You said, I thought that I was doing that because then I'd get the inspiration. And so our encouragement to you is sit with the inspiration just a little while longer. Don't jump into action the moment that the idea comes. Play it out in your mind a little bit. Imagine it a little longer. Try to get into the vortex relative to other subjects and then milk it a little longer. So here's the way we would do it. We'd get into the vortex on one of those subjects that you say there are so many things going well in your life. So we'd get into the vortex, and then we'd milk being there. And then you'll find yourself feeling good. An idea will come. You'll feel the impulse to respond to it. You'll realize that the impulse came and you didn't get thrown out of the vortex. And the idea will get stronger and feel stronger until you'll feel compelled to offer that action. It won't be action trying to compensate for misalignment. It will be action inspired from alignment. And we promise you, you will know the difference. It will feel so. When Esther decided that she wanted to be with Jerry, everybody in her life said, don't do it. Everyone in her life said, don't do it. And Esther said to every single one of them, I'm doing it. Get over it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Nothing in this universe could stop me from this. She could feel this vortex. He had been in her vortex for such a very long time. The moment she laid eyes on him, she recognized him for who he was. She had to beat him down a little bit to make him understand, but in other words, when you have that sort of knowing, no one can talk you out of it. And until you have that kind of knowing, don't mess with it. Until you know it so strong that nothing could keep you from it, don't take the action. When you use the leverage of the vortex, you trim years of sifting and struggle and false alarms and wild goose chases. You trim it all off because you get right to what counts, and then the universe says, here, 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 until finally you say, all right already, all right already. Let me just enjoy this for a while. It's coming pretty fast. Jerry will say to Esther when he sees her out of sync a little bit, their lives are very busy, and sometimes Esther will get overwhelmed and out of whack. Sometimes he does too. And Jerry will say, why don't we sit and meditate, or why don't we just sit and get into alignment? And Esther's answer, she often laughs right after she says, is that I don't have time for that. I don't have to, and Jerry never says anything in response to that anymore. He's gotten very smart in his time with Esther. But his thought is, you don't have time not to do that. He does not want to get in the bus and start driving down the highway with her if she's not in the vortex. A very, very wise man. In other words, if she's in the vortex, traffic goes well, everything goes well, the bus operates well, her instincts are right on. It's a big piece of equipment to be moving around, and you don't want to be out of the vortex when you're moving it around, you see. And you don't want to be moving around in life at all, whether you're driving a monster bus or a lawnmower or anything else. You don't want to be out of the vortex while you're hiring people. You don't want to be out of the vortex while you're planning what's next. You don't want to be out of the vortex when you're ordering lunch. You don't want to be out of the vortex when you're eating lunch. You don't want to be out of the vortex when you're talking to people you love. You don't want to be out of the vortex when you're talking to people that you're just meeting. You want to be in the vortex. You want to be an extension of Source. That's who you are. And anything less than that is just not enough, and it will always feel off to you, you see. So this is our case for getting into the vortex. It's like get in the vortex and do anything else you have time for. Get in the vortex and do anything else you have time for. And is there any question about how to get in? Life will just put you in every now and again. Just recognize that's really the message of how to get in. Just be aware. You'll show up in there sooner or later. Just be aware and catch yourself in there. Catch yourself in there and say, I'm in the vortex, I'm in the vortex, I'm in the vortex, I'm in the vortex, I'm in the vortex. I can feel that I'm in the vortex. I'm in the vortex. I don't know how I got here. I don't know how long I'll stay, but I'm in the vortex, and I really like being in the vortex, and being in the vortex feels good. It feels good to be in the vortex. I feel good being in the vortex, which means in the vortex it's easy to appreciate. In the vortex it's easy to praise. Can you appreciate your way into the vortex? Yes, you can if you're not far out. But if you've been beating the drum of criticism, you can't appreciate yourself into the vortex, not immediately. It might take half an hour, you see. So get in and milk it, or work your way in and milk it, but most of all, be aware of when you're in. How do you know you're in? Oh, you're so funny when you're in. You say just exactly the right thing at just exactly the right time. When you're in the vortex, people love being with you. When you're in the vortex, they seek you out. They want to play with you. They want to hear what you have to say. When you're in the vortex, you're popular. When you're in the vortex, law of attraction, get it? Law of attraction, get it? Law of attraction, cooperative component. All of the best and the brightest of your world on the subjects that matter to you come to you when you're in the vortex. It is so worth making a career out of being in the vortex. What do you do for a living? I go to the vortex. Where do you buy your lottery tickets? In the vortex. When do you make love? When I'm in the vortex. When do you talk to your children? When I'm in the vortex. When do you make your lists of things that are important to you? When I'm in the vortex. When I'm in the vortex. Anything that matters to me, I go to the vortex and then I contemplate it. I go to the vortex and then I contemplate it. What's this vortex thing? Why is the vortex important to you? Because when I tune myself to the frequency of who I really am, I have the energy that's creating worlds flowing through me. And I'm majorly productive. I'm majorly efficient. But most of all, I'm majorly happy. There's power in the vortex. It's worth studying. It's worth understanding. It's worth contemplating. It's worth feeling for. It's worth recognizing. It's worth being glad when you're in. It's worth being glad when you're aware that you're not in. In other words, it's really, really worth making a career out of your understanding of the vortex. So your question is, I don't know when I should take action. And we say, only when you can't stop yourself. Only when the vortex is so compelling that it just insists that you do that. Jerry invited Esther to his wedding, not their wedding. And Esther in the vortex said, I couldn't possibly go, and I don't think you should either. Well, no one in their right mind would say that to someone that they hardly knew. But Esther was in the vortex. In other words, she was in the vortex. She was inspired toward the end that was the result that she had been planning for. You get a sense of what we're talking about? Completely irrational things come out of you when you are in the vortex, the timing of which could not be better. It's really worth getting into the vortex. When you're in the vortex, the cooperative components surround you, and your inspiration to participate with them just bubbles up within you. And you begin to feel invincible. You begin to know that there is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. You begin to feel the true power of your being, you see. We have enjoyed this interaction immensely. We've been out on the leading edge today in a number of different segments, taking thought beyond that which it has been before, and fulfilling the satisfaction that we reach for as we participate with you. We know that as a result of the lives that you are living, that you are putting new solutions, new answers, and new clarity into the vortex. And we receive the benefit of what you put there incrementally as you put it there. So we're feeling satisfaction all day, every day, as your problems and questions queue up, because the solutions and answers queue up for us, and the cooperative components are assembled. But when we come together in an atmosphere like this, where you come with still some of your problem activated, and we are able to shine the spotlight on the solution that you've put there, we then have an even more exhilarating experience of getting to feel you come into alignment with what you put there. And that happened all day long here today. We felt you again and again, not 100% in 100% of cases, but the majority of what was going on in this room took you again and again into the vortex. And it is our promise to you that the vibrational vicinity between who you really are and who you're being in this moment that you are calling present tense, that we are saying is old news, that gap closed dramatically as a result of your participation here with us in these hours that we've been together. In the days that are before you, it is our powerful desire that you just lighten up with this sort of frisky attitude, that you say things to yourself such as, my vortex has been ready for me for a very long time, and now, more than ever before, I'm ready for my vortex. Because as you softly, not in a harsh way and not in a determined way, but in a soft, playful way, as you acknowledge the existence of your vortex and you reach for feelings that feel good while you are there, as you train yourself by practicing the inside the vortex feeling more and more and more, what will begin to happen to you is that more things that make it easier to be there and stay there begin coming to you. More fun friends, more rendezvousing with interesting books and ideas on television, more cooperation from the universe, more opportunities to feel good, more clarity, more stamina, more vitality, more humor, more fun, more money, more of the things that you've been asking for will show themselves to you in very real terms. And you will find yourself again and again making the correlation between what's gone on here in this gathering and what's happening in your life experience. And you can move forward saying to yourself and to anyone else who you think is ready to hear you, I now understand that I am a vibrational being. And I now understand that through the living of this life in this magnificent physical body, I've carved out something that is so much more. And I can feel the power of source energy and all that is standing in readiness to welcome me into vibrational alignment, complete alignment with what I've carved out. And the celebration just goes on and on and on as I'm catching up with the expansion that life has helped me to carve out. And every time I'm in the mode of reaching, I'm happy. And every time I'm in the mode of catching up, I'm happy. The problem is as meaningful to me as the solution, because it's all part of the expansion, the joyous expansion that I've come here to live and that I am now consciously, deliberately living. We have enjoyed this immensely. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain blissfully and eternally in the vortex.